Hello, hello, hello. I think better take them out for a while. They didn't like. Stop. A question was asked to me, what puja we are going to have today. And I kept it a secret. Today, we should worship the Parama Chaitanya, the all-pervading power of God's love. We are aware that Parama Chaitanya does everything. At least mentally we know that everything is worked out by the grace of Parama Chaitanya, which is the power of the Adi Shakti. But still, it is not so much in our heart. So much in our attention. We can consider Param Chaitanya like an ocean, like an ocean which contains everything within itself. Everything, all the working, everything is within its own limits. So it cannot be compared with anything. You cannot compare it. Now if you see the sun, then from the sun, the rays have to come out to work it. If you see somebody, say a person who has an authority, he has to assert that power outside. So within himself, he doesn't work it out. Say for example, if there's a seed, and inside the seed only the tree grows and the fruits come out, and then they are sold and people eat it, and everything is inside that seed, then that is Param Chaitanya. So we are all enveloped in it. And only the waves that we see, and we are on the waves, so we see it as dislocated, separated. Like we feel, this is Germany, or this is England, this is India. These are just folds of the sari of Parama Chaitanya, which look separated, but they are not separated. They are continuous. So the connection is absolutely complete. If I pull a thread from here, the thread will throughout be pulled. In the same manner, this Parama Chaitanya is working within itself. And there is nothing without. So, when you are Sahajogis, it pays special attention to you. Or I should say, it becomes absolutely one with you. Whatever you desire, whatever you want, also will be coming from the same Parama Chaitanya, if you are one with it. Like in a, say, turbulent ocean, some drops of water may fly into the air and start thinking that we are above. We are away from the world, away from the ocean. But again they have to fall into the same. So this formless energy, which has all the intelligence, all the coordination, all the organizations, all the computers, all the televisions, all that you can think of communication and of governing, of administration, and above all, it is the love. It is the love of God and love of your mother. So, to be one with this Parama Chaitanya, you have to know that you have to become the reality. For example, if you take a photograph of mine sitting here, maybe my photograph might give you living vibrations, all right. Though it's a photograph. But if you take a photograph of somebody else, it will not work out Sahaja Yoga. The reason is that somebody else has not become the reality. It's like any other painting if you see. Supposing we see a painting where it is raining. This rain does not nourish the flowers. It does not wash the cloth of the people who are there. It is static. So in ignorance, we just have the picture which is static about reality. And that is the reason why we think we can work it out. Ourselves, everything. Now if somebody says that I see this picture, all right, and I'll make the rain as a real thing. You cannot. Try anything. Put whatever color you like. It will appear with effort, but it will not have the capacity nor the nature of reality. So human beings always deal with unreal things, thinking they are doing something great. We can get flowers which are real, of course, we can feel them. We can create plastic flowers, we can create paintings, exactly the same as they are, but we can't produce one flower on our own. We'll have to go to reality. Is that the Mother Earth is going to produce it, or the sun is going to help the Mother Earth. So all of you Sahajogis have to know that in reality you do not do anything and everything is done by Parama Chaitanya. This is the difference between a non-Sahajogi and a Sahajogi. A non-Sahajogi does not know. And even if he knows, this is not the truth in his heart. It's not a part and parcel of his being. But a Sahajogi knows that reality is Parama Chaitanya and it is reality that works out everything. And then this reality is the divine love. We always separate love from action. To us, love means some sort of a mad behavior towards a person. It has no technical know-how, how to love. It works without any understanding. When we love somebody, we don't know. What do we do? We think we love you. Tomorrow, we start saying, I hate you. So how can it be love? We love our own children, love our own family, love our own friends, which is so unreal. If it was real, it would never have failed. That you cannot definitely say that, all right, today you'll work for your son and be very selfish about your son. But you can't say tomorrow how he will treat you or you will treat him. But Param Chaitanya knows. It knows how to express its love. Not only that, but it's an eternal feeling of love, which may change its hue, color, but the concern of that love will be the same. The essence of love is concern. Even if, supposing, somebody does wrong, the concern of the divine would be to correct that person. Concern. Or what we say as hita is the benevolence. So the concern for the benevolence will be all the time there, whether it may appear to be sometimes cruel, might appear to be affectionate, might appear to be overindulgent, whatever it may take a form, like a wave. Whichever way it may look, but actually It's for your benevolence. It works for your benevolence. Not only your benevolence, but the collective benevolence. And it knows very well what is to be done, how it is to be worked out. It does not have to go and learn from anywhere, because the complete knowledge of all this know-how also within itself. It's such a storage of wisdom, knowledge and love. So it does not deviate. Once you become a Sahaja-yogi, the concern for your benevolence is all the time there. Whether you are punished or not is a different point. Some people might get a job. Some people will not get a job. With some people it will work out this way. With some people it will not work out that way. Then one may say that how is it? This Param Chaitanya is behaving like this. It's all for your correction. It's a big journey. Whatever works out for your correction and is for your benevolence, if you understand this point, then you'll never be disappointed in your life. And it has no concern of its own benevolence, because it is complete benevolence itself. It never thinks how it is going to be benevolent or helpful, because it has no botheration about it. A man, say, who has everything, worldly things, still may be concerned about getting more. The greed there would be. But as it is the complete Purna, it has no greed. It's fully satisfied with itself. And because it is so powerful, so knowledgeable, that it has no doubts. No doubts of any kind. And because there's nobody which can harm it, it has no fear. And you all have now felt that Parama Chaitanya should give you a complete, fearless life, a peaceful life, and a joyous life. Like a child who finds his mother, then he stops crying. No more. Now he's found his mother. In the same way you have found Parama Chaitanya and the connection within. So you don't have to worry for anything. Don't have to think about anything, you don't have to plan about anything. Only thing is you have to jump into it. Just jump into it. And know that you have become part and parcel of the reality. This if you have understood, I think we have done a big job. Now we are in Germany. And you know, in Germany, there have been people who have tried to shatter the hopes of human beings. But even that happening, that took place, all those horrible things happened, that so many people died. Of course, they are born again, no problem. And such problems came up that they were thinking that the whole world will be finished. They were so much worried. They thought that the whole world will be finished. But did not. But this war has taught us a lesson. It has made us more collective. It has made us understand each other. Otherwise, how do you come out of the ignorance that we are this country, we are that country, racialism, then this so-called nationalism, so-called patriotism, all these separating forces, divisive things. So clearly, we are all human beings. And we should be treated as human beings. If you see the history, after every war, there has been a speedy movement towards knowledge of oneness of the world. It is something like you have in a spacecraft, that a container is built in, one into another. And the whole thing comes into a speed, some velocity. And then the lower container bursts or explodes. When it explodes, it gives a higher speed to the rest of it. And so the acceleration of the velocity takes place. And that's how one can go into the space. In the same manner, all these horrible things that have happened are explosions which brings you towards knowledge that there's something wrong with us. We are living with something unreal. Now the problems, today's problems as they are, like ecology problem, AIDS, drugs, all these modern problems and poverty. If you see it like a witness, you will see these are quite shocking. These are very shocking things. And all these shocking things should really shock our mind. Should really shock our mind. Why we have this problem? And these problems, some of the stupid leaders think that we can solve by making more money. We can protect ourselves from ecology if we have more money. And that we can pollute the atmosphere because we'll have more money. And then we can protect ourselves so that everybody will have to have a mask moving about all over the place. But we should make more money to protect ourselves. Doesn't matter if there is ecological problem, doesn't matter. So you move about like a person who is entering into the area which is all full of fumes. All these stupid ideas come up because they do not see that what is human dignity is. That human beings are above everything else, above machinery, above all material things of the world. They will not talk that will balance the machinery, no. But what they will talk, that will make man a greater slave of the machinery because he must have money. He must have more money. And with this more money, we can protect ourselves against this ecological problem. It is absurd. But if you understand the human dignity, then you have to understand that as a human being, we have to take a very positive, wise step to stop all the nonsense we have been doing. Like now, most of the French shores, the beaches, are polluted naturally, because they started a funny thing called holiday making on the seashore. So this is the result. Now do what you please. You cannot do all that. It has stopped. So instead of, the human brain is such, instead of understanding that we have done something wrong, oh, they will say, we will start some new method of cleansing this. They will never condemn what has gone wrong with them, that they have become so addicted to this kind of a funny life that they have on the seashores. Now AIDS. You'll be amazed that in America, why? Even they said that there were, in Los Angeles itself, 700,000 people who glorified themselves as martyrs of AIDS because they are achieving such a great goal of leading a life which is nonsensical, as if like a big revolution. And thinking that they are very, very great revolutionaries, great people, that they are supporting these AIDS disease and glorifying it. Can you believe that this kind of assertion will be accepted? People only laugh at it. But everything is so money-oriented. They like to advertise it. They want to talk about money help. They want to say that this is happening because if they had more money, they would have taken more drugs. Because they have no money, that's why they are thieving. So we must give them money so that they can take drugs. Or they can take to this kind of life. On the whole, if you see, people have lived with something which is so unreal all their lives, absolutely unreal. And when it comes to facing it, that we've done a mistake, we should not have done this mistake, then they retreat and take another glorious image, artificial and unreal, saying that, oh, we are great, we are martyrs. And this is what we call is Kali Yuga, where everything that is ignoble, everything that is to be detested, everything from which we should have protection will become the goal of people to achieve. I hope you have understood that the all-pervading power around us is the one that is doing Sahaja Yoga, is the one that has brought you to Sahaja Yoga, and is the one who has given you blessings, is Parama Chaitanya, through which it has worked out. So today's prayer should be that we be more and more aware that we are part and parcel of that Param Chaitanya, and that we can feel that. We can use that power. We can work it out. If it is felt today that way, I think a lot of work has been done already, and may God bless you for that. Now, so when you are doing this puja, please remember that you are worshipping me as Param Chaitanya. And so, you have to just think that you are dealing with reality itself. With that understanding, you have to do this puja. May God bless you.